Hey guys, it's Ifter, and I'm back with Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. Last time, we fully finished up Demise. I mean, as best I can guess. I may have missed some student IDs, but hopefully not. And this time, we're going to move on to Encounter, so let's jump right in. And see more terrible things that are going to make me question my existence. Oh, it's Satoshi. Let's see, Tenjin 5. Is that a 23? Or is it 33? Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. Well, this is happy. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Ms. Yui, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold. I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. I know how disappointed she'll be that I'm missing our shopping date. Tenjin 523, number 11. Found it. As long as this doesn't actually read 633, number 77 anyway. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way. Apartment 207, or is that 201? I was really getting fed up with his handwriting, from a teacher no less. In any case, it seemed certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startling narrow steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Are teachers' salaries really that low? I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention toward apartment 201. Here we are, 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yui's place. The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. Guess that means we try door number 2. Passing room 201. The music cuts out. I continued down the narrow walkway toward the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up strollers, plastic toys, bundles of newspapers. And then finally, I arrived at the last door. Bingo! This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate for apartment 207 read Shishido. For an adult's handwriting especially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Yui's place, all right. Huh? What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate. Beware of cat? Shouldn't that be beware of dog? That's Miss Yui for you. So how exactly does one beware a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? At any rate, I confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt this was Miss Yui's place, so my errand was nearing its end. What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyway? I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? It just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. He'd said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to read these? My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I become acutely aware of the inherent value in these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me after all. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop the notes off and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited. And waited. And waited some more. But there was no answer. It did ring, didn't it?
Yui-sensei!
Miss Yui! I rang the bell again and also tried calling out. But there was still no response. What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping? I don't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we'd heard that Miss Yui was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better. Never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her, though.
Yui-sensei! Yui-sensei!
Nothing, huh? Miss Yui, hello? She's probably sleeping or out at the doctor's or something. But what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peeking in. Thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside.
Yui-sensei.
Miss Yui? What kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission? But I was legitimately worried about Miss Yui's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Huh? Oh, the cat. A one-room cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. Since Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his name. You're Moray, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think. Yeah, Monet. What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Yui talked about her cat a lot in class. It's pretty much the whole class had heard of him. The whole school had heard of him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on a shelf in the classroom. Probably because she bought too much and had no room for him in her apartment. Here, kitty kitty. Monet. Is Miss Yui home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. Damn, I sure hope Miss Yui's alright. She's probably just out right now or something. Should mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Lost in the speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. With a quick twist, I turned it and pushed on the door, opening it easily. Huh? Wasn't locked? Crap, that's not good. Can't let Monet get out. Your master's pretty careless, huh? Leaving the door unlocked like that. Monet's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway. What's that you say? She purr is? You and I are on the same page, Monet. Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeked into someone's home I'd walked into without a second thought. Moreover, this is where Miss Yui lived, alone. In other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I'd not only crossed the line, but leaped over it.
Yui-sensei.
Miss Yui! I tried calling her name one last time. As expected, there was no answer. So what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that there was a sliding door into some other room. I could see a light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear. No signs of life whatsoever. Miss Yui really must have been out. One more time, I'd try calling out to her one more time. Just put my concerns at ease. Felt like I'd seem even more suspicious if I stayed silent.
Yui-sensei!
Miss Yui, it's Mochida. Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of that door. Let's just have a little look-see then. Wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside, that's just too much. Man, if Yui happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be in pretty hot water, huh? No, scratch that. I'd be in plentiful, dense scalding water. Monet mewed as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. Of course, nobody was there. Oh, right. I can just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and pen. Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right?
俺のノートでいいや。
I'll just use some notebook paper.
えーっと
Let's see. Miss Yui. Crouching in the door, I ran my pen across the thing. Brought class notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your
あ
apartment.
と
Please
不
don't
用心だ
forget
から
to lock your
鍵は
door
かけた方がいい
from
と
now
思いま
on.
す。ん
As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just a moment ago, this house had had no signs of human life in it, but now I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Huh? Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen, raised my head slowly, and saw a white, slender ankle. Gasp! Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Miss Yui. Oh? Miss Yui? She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in complete disarray. She's like a completely different person from the usual Kempt educator we'd come to know and love.
ユイ
Oh,
先
Miss
生
Yui. I'm
俺
so sorry to
先に
have
入
entered
っ
your
ちゃっ
apartment
て
without permission. Here! I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But... Huh? Miss Yui was just standing there stupefied with a completely vacant expression on her face.
先生
Miss Yui? I called out to her as gently as I could, but... She was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost.
先生
Miss Yui, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead,
うわ
this just seemed to make her cough. Miss Yui! These were wet, productive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. Gross. Frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. Ugh. I put a hand to her cheek and found it thick with a slimy film of saliva. Are you okay, Miss Yui? Miss Yui hobbled back a little, then fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time.
先生
Miss Yui? Wiping the spatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was sick as could be. I'm cold.
寒いの
Cold, but you're dripping with sweat. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up.
ユイ
Miss
先生
Yui, you know who this is, right? It's Mochida from school.
寒いならちゃん
If
と
you're
布団で
cold,
寝な
you
い
need
と
to sleep under your covers.
出ないと
Otherwise, you won't get
Normal.
any better. She absentmindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie. Slowly reopened her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered
ユイ
mind.
先生
Miss Yui,
司くん
Tsukasa!
え
What?
うわ
Tsukasa!
え
Eh? Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep. You've come for me, Tsukasa. Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here.
先生待って人
Miss
違
Yui,
いだ
wait,
よ
you got the wrong person. Seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. I never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. What am I playing now? God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused with someone else. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I anticipated and wouldn't let me get away. I was so scared, Tsukasa. I was so scared.
怖かった
Scared?
まさか来て
I never thought you'd actually come.
うわ
As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. Again, what am I playing? I was blushing uncontrollably.
ユイ先生
Miss
ちょ
Yui,
っと
please, let go. No, I won't.
先生ってば
Come on, Miss Yui. I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Yui only grabbed me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined. Every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me in even closer. Tsukasa?
うわ
Oh my god, as her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. I could feel the heat of her fever radiating off of her steadily encroaching face, as well as the shoulders I'd grabbed in an effort to push away. Stay here with me, Tsukasa, please.
だから
I'm
人
telling
違
you, you got the
い
wrong person. Questions were swirling around in my head. Why was Masubi crying? Who was this Tsukasa person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which would become even more disheveled during our struggle.
先生バ
Miss
カ
Yui, your
ズボン
pajamas, your pants.
ずり落ちて
They're
るか
sliding down. Tsukasa, you're so warm.
ゆい先生ってば
Miss Yui, please. Erng, realizing not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed resignedly. I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times she caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad. Miss Yui was usually calm, collected, and rational. Would have ever imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated.
ゆい先生
Miss Yui, seriously, pull yourself together. I put more strength into my resistance, and finally her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit. But her expression changed drastically. No, please.
先生
I'm Miss Yui. I'm Satoshi Mochi, not this Sue. Please don't go, please. Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd still been wearing, I again drew close to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her here like
後で
this.
気がついて
I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after your fever breaks. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Gently willing her over to her unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama bottoms, brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow with sweat. I did my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I am a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. Miss Yui's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far.
と
Wish I could find a towel or something so I could at least wipe some of that moisture away. Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed to the floor, I glanced inside.
なんだ
Hey, she already bought
冷却し
cold packs.
なんで使ってないん
Why
だか
wasn't she using them? Jeez.
先生
Miss Yui,
Yeah,
this might be a little
とするけど、
cold, but
我
bear
慢
with
して
me,
ね。
okay?
これでよし
Alright, I think that'll help. Placed one of the compresses on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Miss Yui appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contentedly, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. Even in sleep, Miss Yui seemed to be suffering.
もうね
Monet, were you worried about your master?
だよ
I don't blame
な俺
you.
も
When Mr. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea it would be
こ
this bad. Monet had coiled up on my legs without me noticing. I began absent-mindedly speaking to him. He mewed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Yui.
さて
So what do I do now, Miss Yui?
俺
Are you okay to be alone right now? She wasn't in any condition to respond. But
ゆい先生
Miss Yui... Miss Yui's hand had slipped out from under the futon and was gently grasping my pant leg.
の
Hey. Her grip was much weaker than before. But I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Yui just seemed really lonely.
仕方ないな
Well, guess I'll settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become ragged and she'd furrow her brow. She was in a pretty bad way.
辛そうだな
Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all.
飯食ってるの
I
か
wonder
な
if she's eaten anything. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls, laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food.
なるほど。
I see someone's eating well around here, huh?
熱出してあんな状態になってて
Even
も
delirious
お
with
前の
fever,
ことはちゃんと
she's
考
still
えて
taking
くれ
real
てる
good
んだ。
care of you.
でもさ、
That's not good, Miss Yui. You should be thinking about your own meals first. Shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a wry smile. When I pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that was going to be your food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick.
米と
There's rice and eggs at least.
卵がゆでも作ろう。
Maybe I'll make egg porridge or something.
先生、キッチン
Miss
借り
Yui,
る
may
よ
I borrow your kitchen? Sure. Her face was bright red, and her half-pained, half-contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my questions.
仕方ない。
Don't think I'm going to get much out of her. How about you, Monet? Do I have your permission to use the kitchen? Excellent. Thank you. Monet's cries helped assuage my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think, anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing.
ゆい先生、
Excuse me, please, Miss Yui. I'm going to need to get up. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers latched onto my pant leg. The expression on her face changed as I was doing so, from contented rest to mild annoyance. There was nothing to indicate that she might wake up.
よし、
Alright then,
作るか。
let's see what we can do, shall we? As I stood up, Monet mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. Achoo! And Miss Yui, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. And with that horribly happy intro, it's still going. Alright. Well, apparently we're just taking a vacation from the elementary school. So I guess next time we'll find out more about what's going on with Miss Yui. But until then, everybody, take care.